Now, is there a particular reason why we can't shoot that so-called weather balloon from China out of the sky? Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the so-called Chinese weather balloon that has been spotted over Montana. Now, this is a pretty interesting story for a few reasons. First of all, this is probably not a weather balloon. It is most likely a spy balloon from China. Now, the question is, why hasn't it been shot down yet? That's a $1 million question I want to get to right away. Why hasn't it been shot down? Because last time I checked, these kind of things were not allowed in U.S. airspace. I think there was a ground stop at an airport out there in Montana or wherever the balloon was spotted in the video I showed you earlier. I think there was a ground stop at the airport because this big balloon's in the sky. And to give you an idea of how big the balloon is, people were able to see the moon at the same time this balloon was visible. They saw the moon, then they saw, if they saw the moon, then they saw the actual balloon. And they weren't that much of a difference in size. Now, obviously, the moon is much further away than the balloon is, but still, it looks pretty big. It's like, is that a planet? Is that another kind of star? Is that a new sun? Like, what's going on? It's a pretty big balloon. It's spying on us. Although the Chinese will say it's about, it's a civilian balloon, it's for weather. It's spying on us. It should not be in our airspace. It should get shot down right away. But the Pentagon said, we can't shoot it down because there could be a debris field and we're worried about those that are on the ground. Well, there's not that many people in a place like Montana. Okay, I'm sure there's an open space. You could shoot it down over some mountains, over an open space to where it's not going to fall down and injure a lot of people. Okay, the balloon is not over New York City, Los Angeles, or some kind of very highly populated place. It's over basically middle of nowhere. So why not shoot it down? A few things. First of all, let's just say it is a weather balloon. If that's the case, then there's no real risk of shooting it down over an open area. It'd be some debris, it'd be some plastic, some metal, some glass, and that'd be it. You clean it up, go about your business. But this might not be just a weather balloon or just a spy balloon. There could be more in there. Remember the Japanese in World War II? They had like incendiary bombs in these balloons. That could be the case. There also could be nuclear weapons, EMP, the virus. It could be some virus in there, a bioweapon. So if you shoot it down and then it lands on the ground, it can disperse biological weapons to people. So let's just say it crashes down and it hits a small town. Weapon gets out, people get sick, and then that spreads across the whole country and across the whole world. That's possible. Is that the case? I don't really know. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe the Pentagon knows that there's something else inside of there, and that's the reason why they don't want to shoot it down. Or here is the next thing. Maybe they don't want to shoot it down because they're owned by the Chinese Communist Party. And if they shoot that down, that'd be seen as a direct form of aggression against them. Or they have the right to do it. Maybe the right to U.S. airspace was sold to the Chinese Communist Party. After all, we are in a bunch of debt to China. They own, billions, if not trillions of our debt. So why not do whatever you want to do? The Chinese own a lot of farmland. I think in Montana, they had this big corn processing place that was going to be built for like $700 million. But the Air Force intervened and said, well, we can't have that. That's going to be a national security risk. The Chinese still own the land that the facility was going to be built on, but they can't build anything on it. So they're already starting to own a bunch of our farmland, a lot of our food producing industries, food producing companies like Smithfield Foods. You get your ham links and all that kind of good stuff that comes straight from the Chinese Communist Party. They own that. So they have a lot of influence on us from an economic point of view, a political point of view. So the balloon in the sky is like, look, you're not going to shoot that down, because if you do, Now you're going to be indebted to us. That's going to be a slap in our faces. That's going to make us look bad on a national stage, on an international stage, not just in China, but all over the whole world. That'll make China look bad if we shoot down their so-called civilian weather balloon. So what's the result? We leave it in the sky. I don't think the reason they said, as far as, oh, there could be a debris field on the ground and that could hurt people, I don't think that's the reason why the balloon's in the sky. There's also another, I guess you would say, theory that it's a UFO. I don't know about that one, but it's possible because, you know, Area 51, you see weird things around there all the time and say, oh, don't worry about it. It's a weather balloon. It's a nothing burger. That could be it as well, because I think we've become a lot more open to the possibility of UFOs, you know, being around. Maybe they don't want to tell us that this obvious visible thing is a UFO, but I don't think that's the case. I think it came straight from China. It's a spy balloon, and they don't want to shoot it down because of political reasons or because it could be an actual danger inside the balloon. Like I said, it's very big. You could see it very high up in the sky. It appears to be another planet. It just popped up out of nowhere. It's not. It is a balloon. It's very high in the sky. It's not in outer space, obviously, but it's very high in the sky, and people can see it from the ground. There's videos of it all over the place. They're tracking it right now. Like, if you turn on Fox News, there's a tracker of the balloon in the sky, and they got a camera on it, but they won't shoot it down. Although it should have been shot down, they're not going to shoot it down for a variety of reasons. And I think we know the ultimate reason is because our politicians bought and paid for it. They don't want to shoot it down. It'll make China look bad. And they don't want to have that on their hands because they're indebted. You got people like, what's your man, Eric Swalwell, and the Chinese spy, Fang Fang. It's a lot of that going on in the federal government. That's, like I said, probably the ultimate reason why the balloon has not been shot down as of yet. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about this so-called weather balloon from China? Is it a spy balloon? Is it a weapon balloon? Is it something that's really innocent? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys pretty much know where I'm at. I think that this is a political thing because it should get shot down. And maybe they're testing us to see what they can get away with. It's like, okay, we're going to send a balloon over there and say, oh, it was a weather balloon. It got blown off course by the strong wind. It was an accident, all this, that, and the third. They can say that. And then if we accept it with no kickback, if the government does not shoot it down, then it's like, all right, let's send a whole drone over there next time and say, oh, well, it's innocent. It's a civilian drone. They're just trying to check for weather disturbances and seismology. They're trying to check for that kind of stuff. They're trying to detect tsunamis and earthquakes. It's not really about trying to spy on you guys. It's not really about trying to go over an Air Force base or Area 51 or some kind of sensitive installation in the United States. It's not even about that. It's about, it was a mistake. And if we don't shoot it down or do anything, then we're just soft. And the softer we appear to the world, the more we get, what they say, tried. The more people try to do things to us to test our strength, to see if we're going to actually be able to defend ourselves. And if we don't defend ourselves, if we don't show strength, then we're weak. And that is the prime time when outside nations attack. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.